Kachenu, NamRA yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA yetu. We are
NamRA, serving with passion.
Hi there, and welcome to yet another exciting and informative episode of NamRA Kachenu, where we will be discussing tax, customs, and excise matters. Again, today my name is Elise Dentlinger, and I will be your host for the next half an hour or so. In recent developments, taxpayers participate in practical tax calculations. SADC introduces the Regional Customs Transit Guarantee. NamRA engages the construction industry. For all that and more, we will see you in a little while. On the 25th of October 2023, the Namibia Revenue Agency, NamRA, together with the Namibia University of Science and Technology, NUST, had a practical tax calculation session focusing on salaried individuals or pensioners with retirement annuities, study policy, and those who have multiple income.
It was very, very crucial that we are all here so that we can know how these things are done properly. It is very, very important to not to struggle with something that was brought to you. I know next time if NamRA is, or rather if we are making some inquiry, they're going to say, but we were there at NUST. Are you calling from NUST? Yes, but we were there. You see, the people come here with reason. So that's why I thought we were all supposed to be here in order to know how they are doing these type of things. Then we do it on our own.
So why did we decide on doing this? I think it follows that if we are expecting tax compliance, as we are, being the Namibia Revenue Agency, and we also know in terms of our law, the obligation to calculate accurately the tax obligation, and it starts with registration. The obligation to register as a taxpayer, remit correct and accurate returns, pay the relevant amounts, and being truthful with whatever you declare sits with the taxpayer. And it is not our intention to replace ourselves and put ourselves in that role. However, there is an approach, there is a way how we as the Namibia Revenue Agency treat that. And this engagement is just to expose you as to what our approach is. But the obligation will remain yours. We will never be the ones doing those calculations on your behalf.
Everybody leaving this room today will know how to do these three things. The first lesson objective is you need to calculate or to know at least how to calculate what is taxable income. And then the second objection is how to calculate your tax liability. And that is the tax that you need to pay for that tax year. And the last one is how to calculate your tax refund or your tax that you owe at the end of the tax year.
If I contribute to a study policy for myself, it's not a deductible expense. The law makes provision for what can be deducted, and only those ones you can deduct from your income. Gross income less exempt income gives you income. And on that income, you take off your deductions, then you come to taxable income. And the taxable income is the part what you use, that amount that you use to determine your tax payable.
NamRA co-hosted a 3-day consultative workshop on the Southern African Development Community SADC Regional Customs Transit Guarantee from the 23rd to the 25th of October 2023, which allows the transporters to take out a single guarantee covering the entire trip in the region. The workshop was attended by the Namibian Trade Forum, Ministry of Industrialization and Trade, as well as institutions from the private sectors such as clearing agents, commercial banks, Namibia Financial Institutions, Supervisory Authority NAMFISA, Wolfish Bay Corridor Group, Wolfish Bay Port Users, and more.
I have difficulty when my son asks me, "Daddy, what is your job?" By the way, it's 6 years. I summarize to say my job is to ensure that the chocolates and the toys are cheap in the market. And all the kids in this region, they have access to it because it's cheap. This means that the work that we are doing, the ultimately objective is to make our product to be competitive and also to be cheap in the market and everyone to have access. That's why we are here.
There will be a chain of what we call designated representatives. And who are these? These are people, or rather, they are also clearing agents because they must be conversant with customs procedures. And these are appointed by principal bondholders. So, suppose you are moving goods from point A to point B, and there are two transiting countries. You are required, as the principal bondholder, to appoint a designated representative in transiting country 1, designated representative in transiting country 2, designated representative in the country of destination, right? Those are the ones that will now handle your customs matters. Those are the people that are the first port of call for customs whenever customs requires any information or anything to be regularized.
NamRA is deliberate about engaging its stakeholders. This time around, the construction industry got an opportunity to be engaged on different issues that they are experiencing and how NamRA can assist. Let's have a look.
VAT refunds take a very long time to be processed, and some can take up to 6 to 2 years, and usually then businesses get into financial difficulties because of that. And then second to that is that contractors don't usually have enough money to kickstart projects, so they usually take out bank loans, and that's an additional expense that is rarely recovered on the project. So it will be of great help if like the VAT refunds are processed seamlessly. Another issue, and I think it's also a big problem, is just like proper communication channels, and it speaks again to the other one, the thing of education, and I suppose that is why we're having this engagement, so that we can learn more. But particular to that is just the communication channels, is that it is almost impossible to actually get a response via telephone or email. So if you want a quicker response, it's better to go to the office, and we don't really have time.
This stakeholder engagement particularly came about as a result of the complexities that we've realized that is particularly with the VAT aspect, and it is therefore good that today we are also addressing some other issues. Firstly, there are two rates in VAT, 0 and 15%. For residential property, the first transaction is the sale of residential property. That will be 0% at all times, and the person selling the property charges 0%. Then we get to the construction. That is where the house is constructed from the ground, from the foundation. That transaction is 0 rated. The minute the contractor constructs a residential house, the charge is 0%. It has come to our attention that there are some contractors who charge 15%, and that is incorrect.
When you have a very critical industry like the construction industry, you do not want to assume that you know everything about that industry, and therefore we feel that it's good for us to come at an engagement like this, for us to understand your challenge. And I must thank Sister Kashala for sharing some of those views, some of those concerns. The contribution of the industry total tax revenue that we have received, we're talking about 357 million. Now, but what we are seeing there with regard to this total contribution, the majority of the contribution, the 77 million, is what the employees pay. The company themselves, they have only paid about 27,000. And when they have only, not 27 million, and when they have only paid 27 million, as a tax administrator, you must already know that I will have question mark, but I will speak to that later on. But there is also another slide that I just wanted us to show very briefly to attend. It's a slide about NamRA revised return previously submitted as zero return. And that why I want to show that slide. In our beautiful country, there have been a culture, which culture we have to bring it to an end, a culture where people are in the business and they have just been submitting zero return. This Namibian company and foreign-based company and multinational. So in actual fact, this company, these people, both Namibian and multinational, they've been stealing from our future. They've been stealing from the state fund. You get a contract sometime even from the state. One of the case was even in the media because they took us to court, where you get a billion worth of work and you don't even pay a cent. While a laborer or a cleaner working for the government, they contribute in the region to from 30 to 40,000 per year. And therefore, we are then saying, if you have challenges, make arrangement. Even on even in the good standing certificate, we are saying if one just paid 10%, and this is only up to next year, June, we will still be able to give you a good standing certificate while you know we are not in good standing, but at least pay 10% of that. And therefore, I think where we are now, we are then working on a multitude of projects to make sure that the institution is reformed, the investigative capability is strengthened, the audit capacity is strengthened, and also we're moving forward ensuring that we are investing into the service delivery and need more capacity to make sure that we give you nothing but the best service.
145 customs and excise officers graduated from a 3-week training on the 26th of October 2023 in preparation for their deployment to various offices across the country. Let's see how it went.
Everything that you have learned here, ask yourself, apply that. Have that manual, like your Bible and the law. Read it when you do not understand. Know that this was just a tip of an iceberg. You need to do more reading. Read the Custom and Excise Act. Read the Custom and Excise Act. Read all the other laws that are administered by NamRA. Understand the entire structure of NamRA. Sometimes if you stay for 2 years or so in custom, maybe apply to go to another department because the future commissioner can come from you. Be a world-class professional. Because I really want, if you become world-class professional, I do believe that the Namibia Revenue Agency will then become a world-class revenue agency because there is no world-class institution. It's people that make up an institution, and it's you, if you become a world-class professional, then there is no doubt that NamRA will become a world-class institution.
You need to read your manuals, read your policies. You should be able to read all the relevant documents in relation to what you are doing. Community engagement. Colleagues, you are going outside there, whereas you need to engage with the communities yourself. You are not going to operate in the vacuum. build a positive relationship with the public that can ease tension and also facilitate your work.
7 with passion! 7 with
When we return, we will be joined by Mr. Philip Augustinus, Manager Southern Region Customs and Excise at NamRA. Stay tuned.
We administer tax and custom laws so efficiently and consistently. We are ethical, effective in changing lives. We are there for you. This is your revenue. NamRA, serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian.
Welcome back, and we are joined by Mr. Philip Augustinus, Manager Southern Region Customs and Excise at NamRA. Mr. Augustinus, would you kindly share your experience since joining NamRA?
Thank you very much for the floor. As you have said, my name is Philip Augustinus, Regional Manager for Southern Region. This covers the Hardap and the Taras region, where I'm overseeing the operations, customs operations at Keetmanshoop Regional Office, Ariasle Border Post, North River Border Post, Oranimun Border Post, Lutteritz and Claymanase Border Post. To come to your question, since I joined customs the 1st of October, my experience has been of a good journey, one can say. Simple because when I joined customs, as I said, the 1st of October, I had a mandate which I was given to oversee the operations of the region, and also to make sure that we live within our high-level statements of the institution. These are the visions, the missions, and the core values. So, for example, our vision, where we are saying we aspire to become a world-class revenue agency, to serve with passion in order to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian. If you look at that statement, it's a very high statement, and it talks more volume because we really want to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian in whatever aspect that we are doing, being it trade facilitation and also the revenue that we are collecting, in making sure that the government objectives are met. These are roads, infrastructure, medicines in the hospitals, building of schools. So one can say my experience has been good, and also is good in a sense that what I was supposed to achieve, I have achieved them, and I'm happy with what I have done since I joined NamRA. Thank you.
What were your immediate observations when you got to this office?
Thanks very much to the question. My observation when I took over office, this is a normal thing one have to do. Whenever one took office, what you normally do, if you look at the environment where you are going to operate, in a sense that you look at the human capital. These are the employees that you are going to work with, the people that are going to support you, and the people that you are going to support as well, in order to embrace teamwork. And also you look at the infrastructure where you are going to operate. Hence, I took it upon myself when I joined NamRA in order to observe and see the environment where I'm going to operate. I took a supervisory visit or familiarization visit to all the duty stations within the division. These are all the borders: Ariam, North-Ruver, Oranimund, and Lutherets, and Clem Manasseh. One of the observations that I encountered is that I can give you an example of the two busiest borders, which are operating 24 hours. For example, Arian Slay. Infrastructure-wise, is dilapidated. Most of the infrastructure, they are old. We need to renovate. One aspect that I can give you is the issue of the aircons. When I took office, my observation was that the aircons were not functioning at all the duty stations in the division. So one have to put yourself in other people's shoes and feel that if I was the one sitting in this office, how will it be? Am I going to render the service as required or not? Because as I said, the aircons were not functioning. And then as a team, I'm not saying alone, as a team, we took a stand where we said we need to write a submission so that new aircons can be installed. And fortunately enough, a submission was written, my office, and then it was approved. And I thank the management for the support. As we speak now, the aircons at all the duty stations within the division have been installed. And remember, when I joined Customs NamRA in October, it was hot. Hence the need, we said, no, we cannot go on like that. We need to install aircons so that we can create a conducive environment. And the other observation is that the region is vast. So when I took office, when I did my familiarization visit, I came to learn that the work ahead of me is not a joke. So I need to accordingly plan, coordinate, and cooperate in order to make sure that the mandates are carried out as outlined. Thank you.
Can you tell us what kind of challenges you experience when interacting with clients in your region?
The challenges that we encounter when interacting with the clients since the time I took over is that most of our clients, it seems like they don't know much more about our customs operations. So that is one of the challenge. People really don't know about our responsibilities and duties. Same apply also to their obligations when it comes to customs operation needs. So that's one of the challenges that we encountered. But with a team, we took it upon ourselves that we need to engage them in order to inform them, disseminate the information that custom does, or our work in particular. We are doing this through our operations, be it roadblocks or cleanup operations, in order to inform them about our duties and responsibilities. At the same time, their obligations as well. Recently, we had our own initiated operation where we undertook a cleanup operation. This is from the Hardap region up to Taras region, which was a quite success, and the community or the clients at large came on board. And as we speak now, because our aim here is we need a voluntary compliance. And as we speak now, some of our clients are coming to the office and to do whatever is required when it comes to customs operations. That shows that the level of voluntary compliance is picking up, and some are calling in order to inquire what they need to do before they undertake a trip, either to go buy something abroad, especially in South Africa. That is one of the challenges that I encountered when talking to the clients. And also, one can say that one of the challenges, people always have a say in whatever we do, and we don't say or they shouldn't say whatever they are saying. It's like the dissemination of information. They need pamphlets so that sometimes one cannot really have an opportunity to call, but if they obtain those pamphlets which contains customs information, it will be of good use to them so that they can know what to do whenever they want to do things that concerns customs.
Mr. Augustinus, could you please elaborate on some of the ongoing initiatives you're involved in to ensure effective engagement and education of clients in your area?
Thank you very much. One of the initiatives that we've put in place, it's meetings or engagements with our clients, where we have taken a stand of saying at least in each quarter, every quarter we must have an engagement so that we can engage our clients at large. And also some of the initiatives that we have taken is that we are having operations and roadblocks, not only operations where we detain or seize goods, but we are also doing so in order to educate and disseminate information about our operations as customs. And as we speak now, there's an expo going on in Keetmanshoop. This is a Keetmanshoop Agricultural, Industrial and Tourism Expo, which started on the 31st up to the 4th, 31st of October up to the 4th of November. So we also have a stand jointly with our colleagues at Domestic Tax, where we are disseminating information. One of our initiatives also when I took office is that I saw there's a need of our farmers to be informed on what to do about their foreign registered vehicle. Because one could see that in towns, we could see foreign registered vehicle, but when you ask, these vehicles have been in the country maybe for more than 5 years, they were not declared. So in order to assist them, we undertook an operation where we visited most of the farms within the division, whereby we informed them what they need to do. And some of them, they've started declaring their vehicles. And in terms of revenue, we have also collected in that regard because duties need to be collected, and where penalty is required, penalties are also issued. And in terms of revenue, we have collected much. The other aspect is at our border, at our two busiest borders, where we have scanners. Remember, scanners cost us a lot of money. There should be a return on investment, whereby we are emphasizing that we need to do 100% scanning. When we are doing the scanning, we are also informing our clients why are we doing the scanning 100%, and also intensify our fiscal examination. At the same time, also documentary checks, we are emphasizing that we need to inform our clients why we are doing that. And also, as I alluded, during our roadblocks, we are informing them, because you would find people asking you, the money that you are collecting, what are you using it for? We are informing them we are there as collectors, but this money is used for the governmental objectives. Thank you.
Can you tell us what are some of the issues that are unique in this region?
Thanks very much for the question. One of the issues that makes this region unique is the vastness. This region, southern region, covers, as I said in my introduction, that it covers from Hardap region to Taras region. And if you look at the region, it's very vast in the terms that the towns are far from each other. We are talking of 300, 500 kilometers apart from each other. And to come back to our customs operation, the region is very unique that we have got two 24 hours borders which are operating. So if you look at the other divisions, you would see that maybe only one border which operates 24 hours. But here in this region, there are two busiest borders that are operating 24 hours. So in terms of the workload, you can already see that there's a lot of work which needs to be done. And in mostly these borders, these are entry points from let's say the busiest or the biggest economical country, which is South Africa. So you can see already that it's more unique, where we are importing more from South Africa. That shows that even the trade volume within the region is very high. And one of the uniqueness about this region is the borderlines. You would find that in this region, a border is only determined by the fence of a farm. You will find that one farm owner is having two farms, one in Namibia, one in South Africa. But when you go there to determine the borderline, you are informed it's only the fence. There's nothing like a no man's land or so forth. So it also brings also a lot of work to the officials in order to curb smuggling, because what happens that in most cases some farms will carry or will ferry their agricultural products within alongside the fence, on top of the fence, to take them from one farm to another farm, which makes it also unique. And also what makes it unique is also that if you look at the Orange River, it's very porous. It's sometimes at some entry points we are not there as customs, but our stakeholders, the police and immigration, are there. But sometimes then you would see that where we are not there, or if the place is quiet, people are smuggling goods from South Africa to Namibia. So the region is very vast, and one can say a lot of hype activities are taking place. And in terms of revenue also, our region, the southern region, is ranked third on revenue collection. We are working very hard in making sure that we want also to come in number one, number two. That's what we are working on. So those are some of the issues that makes this region unique. And the other aspect is the weather patterns. This region, one can say that there are mostly two seasons. When it's cold here, it's cold, and when it's hot, it's hot. So it's the other issues that makes this region very unique. And also, as customs, our clients are more of the farmers and few retailers. The majorities are just farmers who are commercial farmers, and they import more of their agricultural goods from South Africa. So these are some of the aspects that makes the region unique. Thank you.
Mr. Augustinus, what is your final message to your clients?
My final message to the clients is that as customs or NamRA, we are mandated to collect revenue due to the state, facilitate trade, protect the community from illicit trade. So our client, we are asking them to come on board and pay what is due to the state or to NamRA, because this money, we are here as collectors. We are collecting this money on behalf of the government, for the government to fulfill its governmental objectives. So all what we are asking from the community of the clients is to pay what is due. And also we are also encouraging them to voluntarily comply, and we are also advising them whenever they want to undertake a trip where an import aspect is considered, we are asking them to come to our office, any nearest office, so that we can give them information pertaining to what they are going to import, so that as they come at the border, we do not stand on their way of questioning them a lot of things. As I said, we are here to facilitate trade, because I have received a lot of queries and complaints of saying when people are coming at the border, they are staying there for long because we are questioning them. That's why we are asking them, at least when they undertake trips, they must come to the office so that we can give them all the information that they want in order to carry out the issue, or to cancel out the issue of saying they stay longer at the borders. This office is theirs. We are here to serve them. So we are saying, serving with passion. They shouldn't shy away of saying maybe if they come to the office, we'll question them, give them a lot of questions. This office is there. They need to come to the office and ask questions which will really assist them in their business aspects. Thank you very much.
That was Mr. Philip Augustinus, Manager Southern Region Customs and Excise at NamRA.
We administer tax and custom laws so efficiently and consistently. We are ethical, effective in changing lives. We are there for you. This is your revenue.
NamRA, serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian.
Meet Michael Akanjo, a Senior Audit and Compliance Officer, one of NamRA's dedicated staff from Domestic Taxes Department. He has over 8 years experience and previously served at Oshakati office. Here is Michael Akanjo.
I'm a Senior Tax Officer at the Audit and Compliance Unit under Domestic Tax. I joined Minister of Finance in 2014 as a taxation officer, the post that I had until I officially joined NamRA in October 2022. I'm currently doing an audit whereby we are responsible to conduct a comprehensive tax audit in all tax types such as VAT, income tax, employee tax, and withhold tax. Yeah, we are also responsible to assess and examine the compliance status of the taxpayer in terms of registrations, time filings, time payment, and accurate reportings. On top of that, we are also responsible to provide taxpayer educations and information to enhance voluntary compliance. And lastly, we are also responsible to collect revenue on behalf of the state. And what motivates me is the passion that I have on learning and improving. As you know, if you are determined to learn, then no one can stop you, because life is about skill and knowledge that can use in your organizations. And also, I am determined by the fact that I'm part and parcel of the winning team, which is positively impact the livelihood of Namibian people. And my future plan is I want to make a great impact career in this organization by playing my role as an audit and ensure that NamRA achieve its strategic plan and objective. Okay, my message to the viewer is that I'm encouraging them to continue comply to the tax obligation, whereby they have to submit their return on time, they have to make their payment on time, and also to apply reportings. On top of that, I also encourage them to partake in the tax amnesty program, which will be ending on next year, 31 October 2024. And to my fellow staff member, I'm encouraging them to continue, unite, and work together as a team, and most of all, to serve with passion in order to positively impact the livelihood of the Namibian people.
Now let's focus on the refund claim process on large taxpayer unit.
Hi, I am Nesla Watanawa, and today we're going to look at the refund process at the large taxpayer's office. All credit returns are automatically flagged for audit by ITAS. Once flagged, the system allocates refund cases to auditors to verify the authenticity of the claim. An LTU auditor will contact the respective client to submit information or documentation for the refund verification. The refund will be paid out after the verification or audit process is finalized, and the system also notifies the client through a notice of assessment. LTU aims to refund its clients within 90 days of the return submission date, as indicated in the NamRA Service Charter. If a client does not receive their refund, the client then approaches the LTU and is referred to the audit unit, either a team leader or manager, who investigates the reasons why the refunds are not paid out. The claim will then follow the same process of verification, if not already finalized but unpaid to various reasons. Here are the common reasons why refunds are not paid out on time: outstanding returns or unpaid liabilities on the client's accounts, the client's not forthcoming with information for verification purposes, no contact details or details not updated, and therefore the auditors are not able to get hold of the client, closed or changed bank account details.
In the next insert, we will look at e-commerce procedures.
Good day. My name is Martin Smatengu. I'm the Principal Custom Excise Officer for Hosea Kotafu as well as Eros Airport. The question with regard to e-commerce procedure, which I'm going to talk about right now. First and foremost, perhaps maybe let me define what we regard as e-commerce or e-procedure. It's basically, goods which are bought through online, processes. So what happens basically, there's no difference between buying goods through the conventional method and the one of e-procedure or e-commerce. So once a person buys goods on the internet or online and he imports them into Namibia from elsewhere, for instance, maybe from China, so he will follow the importation procedure in Namibia. So when goods are landing at Hosea Kotako, for instance, goods will be offloaded from the aircraft by the ground handler. In this case, it's Paragon Aviation. So they will be brought to the warehouse. Before they enter the warehouse, such goods will be subjected to confirmation whether these goods are the one whether these goods are the same goods which are on the manifest, which we call tally. So those goods will be tallied against the manifest to make sure that they are the same goods which arrived with that specific aircraft. Once it's confirmed that they are the same goods, such goods will be entered into the warehouse. Then once entered in the warehouse, the Paragon, which is the ground handler, will immediately enter it in the system, in Asukuda system. Thereafter, he will inform the clearing agents that the goods have arrived. So the clearing agent, his duty is to make sure that he receives the airway bill from the the ground handler about the arrival of those goods. Once he receives the airway bill, he will be able to inform the owner of the goods, for instance, the buyer in Namibia, that your goods have arrived at the airport, and then he will require an invoice from such a person, an invoice, proof of payment, so that the clearing agent can start the process of completing a SAT 500 declaration. Once a SAT 500 declaration has been completed, he will submit it to customs. Thereafter, customs will do assessment. The checking officer will look at the document, check whether the valuation is correct in terms of price or value, commodity codes, or the country of origin, or any other information on the document, on the customs document, just to make sure that the document is correct. So, for instance, if the checking officer have found that he's not sure with the goods which are declared, the checking officer has got a right to stop the declaration or the document and refer it to the enforcement unit who are going to do the examination. After the examination is completed, and if everything is in order, meaning that the SAT 500 will be referred back to the checking officer for payment, and then it will be assessed, and then payment will be done. But if there's any discrepancies on the document, that means the clearing agent will be informed to go and do amendment. It's only after amendment is done is when the SAT 500 will be brought back to customs, and then the assessment will be done and the final payment will be paid. So if a client, for instance, is unable to pay for the assessed goods or assessed payments, the goods will be detained by customs until a person pays. Then it will be detained at the airport. Then after 3 months, those goods, there's a possibility that they will be transferred to the state warehouse, where the procedure of the warehouse will take effect. So I believe that's in short about e-commerce. There's no difference between the importation and ordinary importation procedure of goods imported from any other country, and as well as goods which are imported through e-commerce.
And here are the trivia of duties.
Did you know? By registering online for export under SADC Protocol on Trade, you can save cost and time for customs clearance of goods. When you register online for exports under SADC Protocol on Trade, the certificate of origin can be issued instantly. Effective 1st of April 2023, NamRA has registered 38 companies online for export under SADC Protocol on Trade and issued 1,505 electronic certificates of origin. You can apply with NamRA to register as an approved exporter to declare your originating goods on invoice instead of using the certificate of origin.
NamRA. Saving with passion.
Up next, we are looking at passenger procedures at airports, declaration at departure, VAT claim, and declaration at arrival.
Hey, my name is Martin Smatengu, Principal Customs Excise Officer for Hosea Kutako and Eros Airport. I'm going to talk about passenger procedure, departure and arrival at Hosea Kutako and Eros. Basically, what happens is when passenger arrives from anywhere else in the world, be it USA, be it China or South Africa, they'll be arriving through, perhaps maybe through Hosea Kutako. Once the aircraft lands, passengers will proceed to the arrival hall. Before they reach the arrival hall, they will report themselves to the immigration officials to get their passport cleared. Once their passports are cleared, they'll proceed to the arrival hall, of which in the arrival hall, that's where customs will be, waiting. Once they are in the arrival hall, passengers will be waiting to receive their goods from the baggage conveyor belts. Once a passenger receives his goods from his luggage from the baggage conveyor belt, he will proceed either to the red channel or to the green channel. The green channel means a person has got nothing to declare. A red channel means if he has got something to declare. But before a person proceeds to the green channel, there will be a passenger controller whom we call a profiling officer, who will be able to direct or to select a passenger based on the evaluation he has made or risk assessment. For instance, he has observed that this passenger is coming from China or is coming from Nigeria, and that person has, perhaps maybe a lot of luggages, or is suspected to have maybe been in drug-prone areas or drug-prone countries. That passenger will be selected into the red channel. But if a passenger goes through the green channel, the goods will pass through the baggage scanner. So through the baggage scanner, a custom officer will be screening the luggages. But if he suspects any suspected item in the luggage, that specific luggage or passenger will be directed into the red channel, whereby while they're in the red channel, a custom officer will question the traveler with regard to his arrival in Namibia. For instance, he'll be able to ask the passenger from which country he's coming from, or in how long he has been outside, if he has got anything to declare. So a passenger has got a right to review such information. So before a custom officer starts examining the luggage of a passenger, he will politely ask the traveler whether to open his luggage, and the traveler will be at liberty to open the luggage. And once the luggage is opened, the custom officer will examine the baggage or the luggage. If there's anything he finds not, which is suspicious or which is worth to be declared to customs, the customs officer will tell the traveler to declare. So such item will be declared on a baggage declaration. So, for instance, if a passenger is coming outside circle, for instance, maybe China, he has bought goods, maybe perfume. So a passenger will qualify a 5,000, allowance. Not a 5,000 allowance, but you qualify based on the liters. For instance, if he brought perfume, there is a 50 milliliter which he will qualify. So, but if he brings more than 50 milliliters perfume, the excess on that milliliter will be paid for. So once the excess is determined in terms of value, that we will charge the passenger a flat rate of 20% on which he is going to pay, customs and VAT taxes. But in terms of personal goods, a traveler also qualifies a rebate of 5,000. Then, for example, if he brings goods worth maybe 10,000, he will be given an allowance of 5,000. Means that he will pay on an excess of another 5,000. So a flat rate of 20% will be applied on 5,000. That's what he's going to pay. So with regard of goods which are coming from South Africa, it's the same principle. The passenger will qualify, for instance, goods which, if he is bringing consumable goods, for instance, the perfume, an example which I've given, he will qualify based on the liters as well. If he exceeds the liters, meaning that the value of that excess will be determined in terms of how much is it, and then he will be charged a VAT on that one. And if in terms of personal goods, the passenger also will qualify an allowance of 5,000. For instance, I went to South Africa and buy goods worth 20,000. So we will deduct a 5,000 allowance from the 20,000. The remaining 15,000, he will pay the VAT of 16.5.
Do you want to make a payment for your tax debt? Here are the available options for payment.
My name is Angela Kamui, Senior Revenue Treasury Officer at NamRA. I'm going to take you through the process of making payments to our NamRA offices. We have 4 modes of payments which are acceptable at our offices, which are direct deposits, cash payments, electronic fund transfers, and speed points machines. When making electronic fund transfers, we have 2 accounts available for our taxpayers, which is receiver of revenue, account 165001, and the VAT dedicated account 165060. When making a direct deposit, our taxpayers need to fill this deposit slip at their commercial bank. You need to have your TIN with you. The TIN consists of 8 characters, and then you should also know the period that you are making the payment for. When making an electronic fund transfer, for your penalty or interest liability due to NamRA, you use the EFT referencing example as shown on the screen. It also has 19 characters. But on the tax type and tax period, you put 999, indicating that the payment is account payment. When making electronic fund transfers, EFT referencing example is shown on the screen, which comprises of 19 characters. The taxpayer reference number comprises of 5 parameters, which are as follows. 1. Represent the payment method, in this case, EFT payment. 06. Office of registration or your return office. The 8th character represents your tax identification number. 14 is tax type, in this case employees tax. 2018-06 is the tax period for which the payment is meant for.
In the last episode, we asked, how much did NamRA collect between April and September 2023? The answer is 37.4 billion Namibian dollars. Now the question for this episode is, how many new customs officials graduated on the 26th of October 2023? Do email your answer to NamRA Kachenu at namra.org.na. The due date for submission is the 16th of November 2023. The winner will be announced in the next episode.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of NamRA Kachenu. We hope you have found the information valuable and insightful. Join us in 2 weeks' time for more updates. Until then, stay informed and compliant. Goodbye.
Giving fairness and equality to our nation. We appreciate the difference in ethnicity. We have